Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm finally getting around to doing the review for the lovely Quartet Dressage saddle that I got to try from my sponsor Schleese. So this saddle is really cool. It's one of the most popular dressage saddles from this brand, and it has the lowest amount of pressure per square inch of any English saddle on the market, which is really cool. So that was one of my favorite things about this saddle, is the fact that the panels distribute pressure so well that they exceed that of any other English saddle on the market. And also it has an adjustable tree that you can adjust to fit a horse throughout the rides, which is one of the coolest things about Schleese as a brand, is that they have trees that you can adjust yourself as the rider and do so quite easily. This was already fitted to Milo, so I did not need to do that, but having the option, especially as a professional trainer, is something that is huge for me. I loved the leather. The leather on the flaps is a lot more durable and it doesn't scratch easily like full calf saddles, but then the knee rolls and the seat were still super soft and really sticky to sit in, and it gives you a really nice deep seat and close contact feel to the horse. So it's really nice because you can really feel the horse underneath of you while still being supported and having it be really low pressure on the horse's back. Just a quick shout out for their saddle pads. I love the Schleese saddle pads because they're high quality and they're sweat wicking, but also first and foremost, the wither relief on them is superior to most saddle pads that I've seen on the market. But anyways, back to the saddle. It has really good clearance of the shoulder and tons of room for the scapula to move underneath the saddle instead of jamming into the stirrup bar like some saddles do. The way Schleese sets back their stirrup bar gives the horse's shoulder more room to move about, and they also have super wide channels that leave enough room for the spine, whereas a lot of saddle companies are still doing channels that are far too narrow, and unfortunately then they put pressure directly onto the spine. This saddle does not have that problem, and none of their saddles do. They have some of the widest channels I think I've ever seen on any saddle, and it is reflective in how the horse responds to the saddle. Milo is a pretty sensitive horse, so he's pretty vocal about how he feels about tack, and he relaxed under the saddle really nicely and was working through the back quite a lot more than he typically would, especially since he was in and out of work during the time that we were testing it. So unfortunately, I didn't get to ride him in it as much as I would have liked to because he was having issues with his ulcers and then his hooves, and some stifle issues as well. So we were kind of riding on and off, but even with that, he really showed comfort and relaxation in the saddle even when he had other struggles going on with him, which is huge because he's a horse that's a really fussy horse even if there's not a lot going on. So the fact that he worked this well in the saddle even when we knew that we were working through other problems at the same time is something that is indicative of how comfortable the tack is for him. And I also found that he had an easier time getting his lead changes in this saddle, which is something that he usually struggles with quite a lot. My favorite thing about this company as a whole is the fact that they're trying to make tack that's not only comfortable for the horse, but also for the rider and also user-friendly for the rider because they're making it adjustable so that you're less reliant on either needing to buy a new saddle if your horse changes shape or having a fitter out to adjust the tree yourself. So I find it really cool that they're putting out these types of trees and stuff that the rider can adjust themselves using basic tools that anyone has around the house or at the barn. So that's one of the biggest things that is my absolute favorite about this company because I think that's a real game changer, and especially for me as a trainer, I love the idea of being able to adjust the fit of a saddle myself when I'm riding a bunch of different horses per day. So being able to test the saddle and see that and also see all of the other features that make it different from a lot of the other saddles on the market is something that really sold me on it, and I really enjoyed riding in it. It was super comfy, and I found I was better able to get a good position in this saddle than I was with other saddles. In all, I'm super pleased with this company and their saddles, and I find them really user-friendly and comfy for both horse and rider, so I highly recommend it. I'm looking forward to testing more, hopefully once Milo's back into full work on him again, but for now I'm testing some on Harlow.